podcast and such. Hi.
A
Hello.
podcast.
God, I fucking hate politics.
Oh boy.
Sorry,
Okay.
I just got an email from my state senator responding to one of the many petitions I sign regularly because they keep emailing me things. So that's great. It's fun to read 3 paragraphs and not get a single thing from it. It's amazing how many words you can cram together and say nothing.
Hmm.
I live in a deeply red state and it sucks. That's conservative, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you. Yeah,
Yeah, ours is different.
I do.
Blue is conservative here, I think.
Oh, really? Okay, and that's confusing.
Blue's the Tories.
Uh,
The
what does
Conservative Party.
Tory stand for? Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that's red for us, and then I guess yellow for libertarian. Although they're not super numerous, but I guess they're technically our third party.
Bear with me. So, yeah. Blue's the Conservatives. Red are Labour, so centre left, arguably. And then left wing are the Lib Dems, Liberal Democrats, which are yellowish orange.
Okay.
And then you get the niche ones like Scottish National Party, which is pale yellow, and the Green Party, who are purple. I'm kidding.
What?
They're green.
Okay. I mean, I would get it if green was already taken, but that would be funny.
No, purple is taken by UKIP, the UK Independence Party. Thanks for that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yep. And then Plaid Cymru is the
Yeah.
Welsh party, which is yellow and orange. They basically don't do anything at this point. I mean, Wales actually have their own governing body that is just kind of ignored by anyone outside of Wales. So,
Brutal.
I mean, it's basically like a state legislature for your country. It's
That's fair.
yeah.
I mean, if that's the extent of their responsibility, then it's not a bad thing. They aren't paid attention to.
Yeah.
It's their job.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my fun way to break into the podcast. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, let's talk about the nitty gritties of let's have a jumping on point of really like standard fare politics of representatives not actually giving a shit what their constituents say, and then do a brief rundown of like UK political parties and their colours, and that something that literally doesn't matter even to British people. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way I see it, I don't expect in any way for anyone to pay attention to the politics of another country to the level of knowing what their political parties are, unless they're actively having a massive conflict that is, being a problem for other people,
yeah,
which I guess the U.S. is at this point. I don't actually know.
yeah. The world watches American politics and cries a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah. The whole focus on like colors, like their football teams, is a very American thing. Like we barely care. I didn't know what colors represented the parties until like a couple of years ago when I thought, hey, I wonder, is it the same as America? And no, it's not. It's actually the opposite. Go figure.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
that's a huge deal here. That's a full-on gang colors, basically. So
yeah.
wear a red
I was
hat,
gonna
and people are
say
going to
like
be glaring at you
gang colors or
deservedly.
sports teams and stuff. We don't really do that. There are places that are kind of known to lean more towards certain parties, but we don't label them like football supporters or anything. It's kind of fucking weird
Yeah.
and gross that you guys do that, but I see you guys very
Oh,
broadly, by
absolutely.
the way. Just very broadly, not picking at anyone.
I honestly wish we had more parties. We need more than 2. We need like 5.
Yep. Well, you do, but your system is also very much designed for 2 parties, which is
It,
really
yeah,
bad.
it really is. 5 would rapidly become 2 again if there weren't very strict rules in place somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, so, podcast. It's a very dry opening. Sandpaper.
Yeah. You guys started talking about politics, and I'm just sitting here like, I'll wait until they finish.
Yeah.
So how was your week, Zero?
What do you think of the Iran-Pakistan conflict?
I think that politics are silly.
I just pulled 2 Middle Eastern countries out of thin air, assuming they're in conflict. I'm probably not wrong, but still, it shows what I know. All right, so how you doing, Zero?
Oh, doing pretty good. Managed to lose all that extra weight I gained from going on vacation to Florida, which is pretty
Oh,
nice.
sweet.
That was quick.
That's great news.
Yeah, it turns out not eating crap all day long and working out makes a big difference. Well, I did work out while I was there, but like the amount of calories you can have while on vacation is staggering.
Oh, it is.
Literally staggering. Like you'd have trouble walking afterwards.
I mean, I spent, I think it was like 4 or 5 days in Utah and Nevada, and I think I ate more full meals in those 5 days than I have in any other week in my life. It was crazy.
Oh, but aside from that, I started playing Scarlet Nexus on the PS5.
I have vaguely heard about that because Callie played it.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Scarlet Nexus is a Bandai Namco anime character action game, I guess. The main thing is you can play as either a male or a female character. Each one has their own distinct story and character, and they're both characters in the game. So depending on which one you have, you get a different play style, but also a different perspective on the story.
The one that you don't pick, are they in the game still?
They're in the game, and you fight them.
Oh, nice.
And it's
Replay
interesting
value. Love it.
because they both have psychokinesis as their power, which is the ability to move objects with your mind. Which means in a situation in which you fight them like in a mock test or something, you try to throw something at them and then they try to throw it back at you and have to mash and battle, and it's real fun.
So Mob
Or
Psycho.
you can just or you can perfect dodge their psychokinesis and then grab what they were throwing at you and then throw it back at them. Stuff like that.
It's a really aggressive game of catch.
Yeah.
Yes. but with, a car. And so you are game feels very stiff at first, but then you're like, oh wait, I unlocked air dashing and now double jumping and then air dashing and then all of these other character action moves, and now I'm really being able to move through this game. And the way it typically works is you attack, hit right trigger to throw something at them, and then you jump back, grab it, throw them, and then that allows you to then dash back in if you hit the attack button at the right time to continue your combo. So you're comboing in psychokinesis with your regular attacks.
Interesting. I appreciate when a game feels better the more you play it, the more things you unlock in a really playable way instead of just throwing a bunch of shit at you.
And there's also like certain objects in the environment that are more involved, and you have to use L2 for those. And it's like you take a vending machine and then you rip it in half, and then you slam both halves together on one enemy. And it will usually go through multiple enemies in the process of doing that, and deals a lot of damage.
Nice.
And this is kind of scratching an itch for me, which was, man, I really liked throwing things at people when Force Unleashed. Yeah, I get to
That's
throw
fair.
things at people. But
It's
also,
rarely a system that feels very
yeah,
workable in games. It feels very clunky most of the time,
Hmm.
like TK throwing things.
they have put it into everything. Like you're just walking around the world, you're like, oh, I could throw that, I could throw that, I could throw that. Ooh,
I could break these cuffs.
yeah. And you also have your squad, and each of your squad have their own special abilities that you can tap into and kind of synchronize, so you can use them. Um, like for example, one character has teleport. If you're playing as the male character, he specialized in melee attacks. So whenever you hit the attack button, when you have teleport active, you're going to teleport right up to the enemy you're locked on to and attack them. Then there's pyrokinesis, which allows you to uh, imbue all your attacks with fire, and also you can at once it's really raised up, you can actually just shoot a flamethrower out of your sword or hands or whatever.
Hmm.
And you level these abilities up by building bond with your teammates and by giving them gifts and doing bond episodes with them, kind of Persona style, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. Other companies are
And
getting
it's
on that style of things. Well, I
yeah,
can't really say that's Persona that's doing that because that's been a thing in mobile games for a long time.
but it's fun, and you can even upgrade it so that you can use two abilities at once. So now you have the super armor invincible mode, plus you also have fire, so you can go in and deal a lot of damage and not take any. Or I think
So
you upgrade it. Yeah,
you unlock the Power Star from Mario.
for a little bit you're invincible. Go nuts, right? And you can even upgrade it because you have like a skill tree. If you ever upgrade one branch all the way, uh, you can then use all four of the abilities you could possibly have equipped at the same time. And I don't know what that's like, but I imagine it's just I have all the powers. Come at me. Uh but it's very fun just to play. And there's even there's brain drive where your mask comes on and you basically attack faster, and it takes no meter to throw things psychokinetically, and you're just going ham, and you can upgrade how you are in that mode, and then you build up, and then you can do brain field, in which you change the entire area and go unlimited blade works on them with throwing tons and tons and tons and tons of objects, and it's just really fun.
Hmm.
um
Wait,
Story wise,
so you're
yeah,
telling me the character is basically Ichigo Emiya?
yeah, kinda.
Hmm. I
um
can't hate that.
it's just really cool playing that game once you have enough of the upgrades unlocked, and you've gone a little bit into it, just styling on these things.
Hmm.
Because if you perfect dodge a projectile, any projectile, you can use your psychokinesis to grab it and throw it right back at an enemy, which is really fun.
Hmm.
And there's also other
Appreciate-
abilities yeah.
I appreciate rewarding fast reflexes with cool shit. That's nice.
Oh, that's not even it. There's one of the powers is clairvoyance, and when you upgrade clairvoyance, it makes it so that when you perfect dodge, you get a read attack that does way more damage and has way more extra effects on top of it because it's clairvoyance. Of course, you're perfect dodging. You saw it coming, didn't you? Yeah, it's really fun. You can also spend that meter for those abilities to summon the character to attack and do a special attack. And yeah, the more I play it, the more I unlock, more aspects of that gameplay, and the more fun it gets. Story-wise, I'm gonna be playing it a lot to figure out what exactly is going on because there's multiple things. But it takes place in a futuristic Tokyo. Everybody has these abilities, and these abilities cause you to be able to see like the holographic looking displays in the environment, and everything looks really cool and futuristic. And you're part of this organization called the OSF, and your goal is to stop these monsters known as others and wipe them out. Typical anime uh fight the monster organization type thing, but the story takes a lot of twists and unexpected turns, which I appreciate. It's not stagnant, I guess. There's constantly things happening. But yeah, Scarlet Nexus. That if you like character action games, go play that. I think it's on PS4 and Xbox One, whatever. So it's not just on PS5, but I'm playing it on PS5 because I have one.
That's fair. I wonder if the PS4 and the Xbox version are inferior in any real meaningful way.
Probably.
Or if they're the same, just less graphical.
I mean, graphically, yes. Less. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
I am forever scarred by Mercenaries 2, I believe it was. I think it was a PS3 game, but there was a PS2 version that was essentially a different game. It was so downgraded and different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also beat Ratchet and Clank for the second time on challenge mode.
Yeah.
Is that like Breath of the Wild Master Mode? What does it do?
So challenge mode lets you have access to the Omega versions of weapons, which allows you to upgrade them further.
Ooh.
And really draw out their full potential. And I played it on a higher difficulty as well, because obviously. And that was a lot of fun. I found out that some of the weapons I was not using before actually have a lot of uses. And like the topiary sprinkler turns people into basically hedge sculptures. It's the water that causes plants to grow all over them and stops them from moving. I didn't realize that you can upgrade that so enemies in that state take additional damage.
Nice.
And it's the same thing with the cold front, the weapon that turns enemies into literal ice cubes.
I feel like that's kind of the failing of any game with more weapons that you're realistically going to use. You kind of find what works and just stick with it. And that can, hamper you.
But then you realize, wait, both of these things work on every enemy, including every boss in the game. And then you get into the funsies where it's like I freeze the boss and then combo it into the sprinkler, and then I use the rhino to drop something from a dimensional hole on top of it and deal like twice as much damage and really make this fight easy.
Nice.
And it still died a few times. It's not like the entire thing was easy. Everything's dealing a lot more damage. And there's only so high of a level you can get to before your HP stops increasing.
That's fair. Is it like, I assume it's not like critical mode, but is it similar in that you'll die in just like a very small number of hits, or?
It's not the highest difficulty I'm playing as, it's the second highest. There's a higher difficulty if I want to go back, but it took it wasn't really instant or anything. It took a good number of hits, and depending on how I got hit. Plus, it helps that some weapons are like, if you defeat enemies with this weapon, they'll drop nanobots to heal you. I'm like, cool. So as long as I'm freaking smart with which weapons I'm choosing to use when and where, I can just doom it. go like Doom, where use this weapon to get HP, then switch around, use this weapon to stop the enemy, and so on and so forth.
Old lifesteal. Oops.
So, yeah, I really enjoy that game. That is a good game.
Glad you found something you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from those two things, though, obviously did more D&D. That's all going pretty smoothly. I had the second session of a new game that I decided to start up, and that went pretty well. The party's all level 1 in that game,
Oh God.
and they are baby. Uh,
Paper
the
mache cutouts at level 1.
point buy as well for
Okay.
maximum baby.
I mean, that's not that crazy. Do you normally not do point buy?
I have it as an option, but I normally allow rolling, which results in them having somewhat higher stats, but also somewhat lower stats. Though in this case, it was all point buy, no extra bonus things or anything to help them not die, and they're also starting at level 1. And I haven't DM'd a game that has started at level 1 before.
Kind of scary.
Like my big game was that I had finished that started at level 2, and they went to level 3 pretty immediately. This time, though, they are level 1. This is the second session with them as being level 1. They are not going to level up for a little bit. So I threw some gnolls against them, and that was pretty terrifying, because a gnoll with a longbow can down a player if they roll well on the damage.
They're a D8 plus 3 or 4, so yeah.
But the party was smart. They did some stealth sniping from far away and took out 2 of them before the fight even started, and damaged a third. And because it's like 6 level 1 characters, so I threw in 6 enemies, thought I'd match their numbers, and it was a pretty intense battle for a level 1 party. People went down multiple times, but one character got hit by an arrow, and the gnoll starts to celebrate, and then it was their turn next. They rolled a natural 20 on their death save, got up at 1 HP, and then shot them back with an arrow right through the head and killed the gnoll.
Gotta love stuff like that.
Right mid celebration, right through the gnoll's head.
No, you.
So that was a lot of fun. Next weekend, we're leaving on Friday. I'm gonna be gone until Monday because we're going down to Huntington Beach for 4th of July weekend, as we always do every year these days. So vacation continues.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it for me.
I will remember that you won't be available on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
No, I won't. And there's a reason for that. Probably because it is entirely possible, nay likely, that I have had ADD my entire life and never noticed.
Oh, do you get tested recently?
No, but I saw a thing that describes what inattentive ADHD, which is the ADD one, actually looks like when you're living your day-to-day life, and that shit lined up too well.
That is fair.
Any household task just doesn't get done because you physically can't bring yourself to do it unless it is legitimately urgent and needs to be done. Yeah. I don't think I've vacuumed my flat in like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a thing that I learned and I will need to get assessed for, which I'm planning to do at some point when I'm awake during the day. That's probably important. You know, be awake at regular people hours. So yeah,
So hard.
That kind of explained everything about how my life has gone for the past like 20 something years. It's depressing because it's that H. The H in the name is the thing that threw me because ADHD. Oh, you have to be like all hyperactive and all energy and concert still and all that stuff. If you don't have that, then you don't have it, do you? Go figure. So that name change to make it more clear what the condition can be made it less clear what the condition can be. It's inconvenient. Oh well. So yeah, that was fun to figure out. Explained a lot of things, but yeah. Moving on from that.
I'm pretty sure I haven't had a diagnosis, but I every time I see like, oh, ADHD is like this, and I'm like, wait, is that my life? Huh. And I remember
But I feel like anyone realizes it.
And I remember when I was a kid, my teachers did tell my parents that I probably have ADHD and I should be on medication, and my parents said no.
Yeah, like when I was in school, I did fine in primary school. Like, I was a little kid. I was interested in everything and anything that the teachers wanted to, like, inform me about. Like, planets, that shit's cool. Maths, I can do that. I'm good at that. That means it's interesting to me. Words, I like words. Words are cool, and I'm good at them, and it's easy for me. So, yeah, okay, let's do words. And then secondary school, high school comes around, and suddenly it's way less interesting, and I don't want to do the work, and I don't do the work, and I am constantly thinking up excuses for why I didn't do the homework, because I never ever do the homework. And it gets to the point where, like, in, I think, my second year of high school, it was like I didn't do an assignment, and I'm like, I've done this 100 times before, it's fine. And my maths teacher, who was a hard ass but actually liked being a teacher and got a lot of shit that he didn't deserve, it's amazing the hindsight that what hindsight will tell you about what you thought when you were a kid, that you were a little arsehole. Anyway. Yeah, he hands me back my school book, my notebook, and he says, hang on, let me try and remember the exact words, because I do remember the exact words. I fought to keep you in the top class. I won't be doing that again.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuck with me. And from then on, I did better at doing the work, which is to say, I got more creative in finding ways to make it look like I did the work, which is to say I copied off other people whenever they would let me. Let me put that in perspective. That that was a harrowing blow to my self-esteem and self-worth that teacher gave me, and it still didn't like get me motivated enough to actually do the thing I knew I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just wasn't urgent enough and I wasn't interested, so I didn't do it. So I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. Well, ADD. Yeah. So that was fun to figure out. Yeah. Oh well. It's a little too late to worry about it now.
Those things feel better in retrospect.
Yeah. Your audio is a little skewy for some reason, Slicer.
Yeah, my connection is flipping the fuck out. You sounded like a robot for half of that for me.
Ooh.
I told my family to knock it off for half an hour, but I don't know.
Oh, there we go. We're back. You good? Slicer?
Hello?
Slicer. Hi.
Hello.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if it gets better. Yeah. So what else did I tried that game that Zero talked about, which was Alchemy Stars. Yes, Alchemy Stars.
Yes.
That game's okay. I like that it's a puzzle game. Basically, that's
Yep.
pretty cool.
It's pretty satisfying to line them all up.
Yeah. I like that. It's a little more complicated than Fate Go, but not too much, which I'm all about.
Mm-hmm. And there's an autoplay feature for like when you just want to put your phone down and go do something else.
Yeah, that's very convenient. As long as it works. The autoplay feature does not like two color parties. So I've had a team that would be like, okay, this character will turn the squares around you blue. This other character will turn the squares around you yellow. And
yeah, that
AI
happens.
will just immediately use one and then the other.
That happens, though. You know, this is a game that just came out and they're still patching it, but like,
Yeah.
still, it's hilarious. It's just like, why are you doing this, AI? Please stop.
I have a character that turns like the nearest four squares that are red or green blue. I have another character that turns squares in the cross shape around you blue. So red and green tiles immediately turn blue. Cool. They happen to be in a cross shape around the character. So the next character that does the cross shape is like, yeah, fucking blue, let's blue. Does it on top. It's the same. Cool. Thanks. They were already blue. It's fine. Whatever. You're enthusiastic. I appreciate it.
So is that a bad party composition, or the auto AI is just kind of...
That's just the auto
stupid?
AI. It's a really good party composition because you can stack that shit and make gigantic combinations, but the AI doesn't know how to order things.
Oh, that's
like
fair.
if you use the cross-shaped one first, then that does all those blue, and then the nearest red or green tiles are further away, so you can do even more blue around you and make an even bigger chain. Because that's how the game works. It's a grid with 4 colors, and you attack by moving the character on a path of a certain color. And if you have characters that match that color, that are that color type, then they will attack and do a super move of varying strength depending on the length of the chain.
Okay, cool.
And each character has its own like different super move. Like you've got healing ones, and you've got ones that will like just attack a gigantic section of the map, or do like a row of tiles across the map and attack all those and stuff. It's a pretty solid game. Not gonna lie, it's really good. I really enjoy the puzzle aspect.
They each have their active skills, and which you can use to like this character can teleport over to this space. You can get a better chain there, or this character can just reset the entire grid except for one color and
Hmm.
have a higher chance of more of that color appearing.
Oh yeah, I got one of those. Raphael, I think.
Raphael, yeah, I
Yeah.
have Raphael and I got Uriel. Um, don't use both of them because they'll just both reset,
Hmm.
and then you're just, why are you doing this? Um, yeah, it's really fun. And there's the carrier system, which you can turn on carriers to be. It will cause like quests to take twice as much sort of stamina, I guess, or prisms to complete.
Yeah, it's
And
basically
in
do the
return,
quest once for the do the quest twice for the value of once kind of thing,
yes,
and time
and like
because you
if
only have to
you
do once.
and so for the quests where like the auto AI is failing me, I'll just go do a carrier version of that, and that takes way less time, anyways.
I would prefer the carrier mechanic specifically, like that. It's a finite resource that you have to wait to refill. I wish that wasn't a thing. Like that's just inconvenient for the sake of inconvenience.
Hmm.
Like if I'm just gonna sit here and let the auto battle do like 5 runs of a resource station, then I'd rather just have it do 2, and there's no reason it shouldn't if I'm just gonna have the auto battle running anyway.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what happens if you upgrade that resource station all the way, but I know that I
Do
have
you mean the
like
resource
7 of
station or
those
the
carriers.
carrier station?
The carrier station.
It just makes
Forget
them
which one that
regenerate
is.
faster.
Because I have like 7 of them right now. But yeah, it is kind of a silly thing to limit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's a fun game. I'm not really into the characters. That's not. They haven't really grabbed me with anyone. There's no, and it doesn't really seem to be trying to either. Like the story and exposition and all the character moments are very, very shallow.
mm. I got a few characters that I like, but I'm like I'm at chapter 7. Um,
You've been
I
booking
like
it.
Ronru. Yeah. Oh, I when I talked about it, I didn't actually like playing it for like a week because I was on vacation.
Ah, right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, good characters that I like. You have Gronru, who's the mecha nerd who wants to pilot your mech. She wants your mech. It's hers now, and I like her.
Oh, I
And
got her
a few
too.
of
Yeah, the
the other
lightning one.
characters.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, and a few of the other characters. As you kind of unlock your affinity and as you ascend them, you get more character chapters with them, where you have like little story moments with them.
Yeah, they. I've done a bunch of those, and they're just not interesting. There's been a couple of them. That what's his name? Faust, I think is his name.
Hmm.
Uh, he has a box that has an eldritch horror inside it, and he asks you to babysit the box for a while, and that was pretty fun.
That's
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
that's
There's some fun characters.
there's a handful. Like most of them are very cookie cutter kind of thing, but it's fine. It's not really why, but it's very strange for me to play a mobile game for the gameplay, but that's where I'm at.
I know, right?
Yeah, because Fako is very
I
bare bones,
just
and I don't really consider Genshin to be a mobile game, frankly,
hmm
because I don't even want to imagine how that game would play on mobile.
I did play it on mobile. It was awful.
Mm, yeah, so
Then I switched over to PC,
mm,
but yeah, no, it was that's the reason why I stuck around for that game anyway. Was because the gameplay was just it scratched a certain itch in my brain.
yeah, line up all the things, make it work properly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
puzzle game stuff. Yeah. And then you level up all the characters and you don't need to do the puzzle game anymore. And it's, oh. That's going to happen eventually, you know it is.
I still need to do the puzzle game. It is only getting more difficult, and there's more modifiers on the enemies. I've not reached that point yet.
You will.
We'll see. It's not easy to ascend these characters and to
It's
level them up all
really
the way.
not. Like, the resources it requires, it's a lot of resources, and there's no easy way to farm them.
The good news is, though, you'll unlock the ability to you'll unlock the workshop, which allows you to smelt the lesser resources into bigger resources.
I
So you
need the
can-
lesser resources. That's where the fucking bottleneck is for me. Like, I've run out of water vapor or whatever the fuck it is. The grey blue character resource.
Water potion,
No, the absolute basic one, the grey one.
water essence.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Mm.
Yeah. But in fairness, I have an entire team of blue characters that are very high level now, so that might have something to do with it.
You might want to diversify a little bit.
I don't think I need to, based on how the game is going. So, you know, that's enjoyable. I'm enjoying that.
Anything else?
Is Genshin, I've been doing that. I'm waiting for the month to take over to see whether I can roll again. Probably not. There's Fate Go. I didn't get Mama. That's make me sad. I hate you, and I hate everyone else that rolled her, and I'm sympathizing with Minty so very much right now.
I'm very sorry.
All of us wanting this character that we all acknowledge is basically useless, but she's hot. So.
Yeah.
But she'll be your useless character if you
Yeah.
have her.
Well, she'll be able to do some fun shenanigans once Nobukatsu rolls around. Because there are characters who
Do we ever get
buff
Akechi 7?
Nobus. No, not currently, but he is in Koha Ace. So who knows?
It's weird that like they have like paper doll of him and stuff. It's strange that they didn't pull the trigger on that for this event.
I think it's a problem of his mechanics in the source material are super complex. And so trying to translate that is a bit hard.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And also, he's not a cute girl.
I mean, he's not, but he's. I was going to say he's a pretty boy, but he's not that either. He's very sharp and angular features. But he does have the white hair, so that makes him better than anyone else. Yep, that's how that works. Have I done anything else? I don't think I have. I think I'm lame still. But it is my week off now, so that's cool.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
You survived.
Guess what? I'm probably going to spend today writing anyway, because I am still super guilty, because guess what? I didn't finish a commission chapter, and so I'm going to finish that and then hand it to the person that asked for it on the first day when I come back. That's how that's going to work. And in a sense, that means my break will just move forward a couple days. I talked about the ADD thing, right? I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes,
thought I
you did.
Okay. Yep. Like I say, it explained a lot of things. So, that's me done. Slicer, how you doing?
Pretty good. So I had, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, periacetabular osteotomy. I mangled the shit out of that. But if anyone has had surgery done to them, do not look up what that surgery looks like, being done. I am deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, osteotomy means removing bone. So, yeah, don't look that up.
So I have, or had, at least in my right leg, hip dysplasia, which means my leg was the ball joint of my upper thigh bone does not quite fit into the socket of my pelvis right, and it grinds the cartilage down to nothing, and eventually gives you severe arthritis.
Hmm.
So definitely want to fix that. So I did, and the surgery involves them cutting out your hip socket, repositioning it, buffing it up with some bone harvested from your pelvis in other areas, and then screwing it back in place. That was deeply uncomfortable to watch. Did not realize they did all of that. That's interesting. But yeah, so that surgery went super well. About as pretty much as perfect as it could be. I was out of the hospital in 2.5 days. I still can't walk on my own, and I'm probably not going to be able to for a while. But I can get around on a walker, so that's really fun. Zooming around on a little walker, it's nice.
I don't know
I
what
don't
you
know if I
expected to
seem.
see in that surgery. Also, did you get one of the walkers that like folds open and has like a seat in it?
Not the seat. That's more for people who have no stamina or walking is a severe drain on them for other reasons.
Mm.
And it is definitely. I mean, walking just 10 feet to like my bathroom I was winded for a while, but
I just think it's
yeah,
cool to have a
no.
seat that you can walk around with. That's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely, that's great. But not mine, unfortunately. Mine's not that fancy.
Ah.
So yeah, so I'm responding super well to the surgery. I haven't. A lot of post-surgery medication is optional, mostly because it's pain meds,
Yeah.
and I haven't really needed them for the most part. There's occasionally some pain and some tightness of muscles and things like that. So I haven't needed most of it, which is great.
Yeah.
The downside of being me is that I'm very sensitive to the weather changing rapidly. And guess what the Midwest is dealing with? Just constant shit. So today, the biometric, the air pressure changed very suddenly. And that leaves me in a state where like I feel bone deep weariness, joint pain, weakness, all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm really high on oxycodone right now. So that's why I seem different. It's great. It's nice.
Yeah. You've been very chatty. I appreciate it. Don't do drugs, kids.
My uncomfortable symptoms have dropped by about 80%, and I don't care about 70%. So it's a nice combination. I'm pretty much good.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm genuinely happy with how this is all gone. I'm very, very happy about it.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I mean, even besides the drug happiness, it's genuinely good. Like, this has all been great. As good as can be expected, really.
Yep.
I'm glad there were no big problems.
Yeah. The only issue actually was, okay, I don't know if you guys have filled out FMLA papers, which is Family Medical Leave Act. It's basically you get 12 weeks of time where you don't get paid, but you get time off and your job is secured, so you can come back. And then they use my sick time and vacation time to pay me during that period until I run out of that. But I had a lot of difficulties getting all of my paperwork through because, as with every section of the hospital, we have people shortages. And so we have no HR director right now. So that's a problem. So not only was my paperwork delayed to the point where it was almost invalid, they didn't put in my FMLA time properly, despite me directly asking if I should do that. They told me no, and then called me a day after my surgery while I was in the hospital. Hey, you didn't show up for work today. Why haven't you done that? So that was infuriating.
Mm.
But it's all fixed now. I limped over to one of the clock out machines and put in the time myself.
Ooh.
And assholes. Anyway, uh aside from all of that, I got HBO Max, binge watched season 4 of Rick and Morty, and then watched a lot of Harley Quinn. Great show. Harley Quinn is amazing.
I saw a couple episodes of that. Yeah, it's just genuinely really good.
I was telling my brother about the show, and he was concerned that it would be, and they even joke about this in one of the episodes in season 2, that it's just a woke female power fantasy show. And no, I mean, it does deal with a lot of gender issues and things like that. But it's honestly really good. Like, you don't really focus on those things, even though they usually tell a lesson or whatever about it, which is nice. But everyone is casually aware of all of these things, and no one, and whenever anyone is a small-minded douchebag, like it's brought up and mentioned. So it's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is painfully non-canon, though. Several people have died or been crippled for life. But
Also,
but
Batman
definitely
doesn't go
recommend
down, and we all know that's false. So,
Yeah,
non-canon.
I mean, I haven't gotten to that part yet, but
Well, you won't because it isn't in the show.
Yeah, it was cut.
oh,
That was the whole point.
Now okay, I should say I haven't gotten to the part where him and Selena are actually in any way involved. Selena's only appeared in one episode that I've seen so far, so.
Yeah, that whole thing has probably spoiled the shit out of the show, but it's also probably done so much for viewership. Like, you can't ask for better marketing than something going that viral, even if it's negative.
So I've seen, I think, 17 episodes. The first season is 13 episodes, and I'm part of the way through the second season. I think Batman has been in 4 episodes, maybe. And Selena, as I mentioned, has been in 1. So them being characters, much less being together, isn't really a spoiler for anything. Or at least it doesn't really matter. So, yeah. I can't honestly think of anything else I've done. It's mostly just a lot of binge watching YouTube and keeping myself busy.
Oh, there is one thing that I would like to mention that I have been, well, I've listened to far too much. So Gagara's song is really fucking good. Like, too good.
What's the song?
It's in the music channel. Yep, the one that I posted about a week ago. Yeah, that is a very, very good song. Song.
Yes, that song.
Yeah. That is very good stuff. Apparently she worked on it. Yes, that's the one. She worked for months on that. It sounds like it.
Yes, it does. It's one of the most, like, there's so many parts to that song. And you're just like, oh, this is a lot of work. This is, obviously, you kind of have to when you are the Hololive's biggest VTuber. You gotta make sure you give a good product, and it blows everything else out of the water. Just
one, good job on the water joke, and 2, I mean, we could debate because
Yeah, no.
she is not the music personality of their roster. She does a lot of karaoke. She has a great voice.
Mhm.
Naturally, a lot of the credit for that song pretty much has to go to the producer, who
Yeah.
I did look up and who was about as nervous about it as she was. So that was cool. But yeah, I would have to look up his name again. It's something
That's
Farani.
that was a Farhan Sarsin,
That's the
and then
one.
was the music mix and master, and the lyrics were Gura and Neko Hacker.
Yeah, who did the translation to Japanese because she doesn't speak Japanese.
Mhm. A team effort.
Yeah, the lyrics themselves were her, but they were translated by someone else who made them like rhyme and fit the meter in Japanese, which is not easy. So I'm not like trying to downplay what they did, but like
Yeah.
the actual meat of the meaning of the song is all her.
I don't think anybody expected a song like that.
Yeah, darker than anyone expected. Like I'm pretty sure, and I dig it so much. Like
Me too.
like a lot of the reactions have been, "Wow, Evil Gura is so cool." She is.
Mm.
She's so sinister and malevolent and joyful about it, which fits because it's still Gura. But
Shark
mm.
is shark. Is
Shark
predator.
is all
Will
you'll
eat
ever
you.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamming it up and having so much fun with it. I love it. It's great.
Even starting the song with freaking ancient Greek.
That was a cute touch. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect any more songs coming out of her for a while because, like I say, a lot of work went into it.
If that one song took that long, yeah, I can see it taking a while to make another one.
Yeah, like I say, she's not one of the music people. That would be Callie and
Yeah, Callie's released like a lot of stuff, just
uh,
constantly.
12 songs total, including her cover of Rocky, and the one
And
she did a duet with Rika for Spiral Turns, which is a good song as well.
And she did do it with Susui as well, called Getcha.
Suisse, yeah.
Susei, yeah.
So I guess that's 13. But yeah, and then there's the other one on the JP side. It's Sora, I think, was the one that's supposed to be like, hey, music and stuff or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like traditional idol stuff.
Yeah. I believe so.
Not that I have seen literally anything from her, because
No, I haven't either. I hear she exists like a mythical Pokemon.
yeah, it's like, yeah, she's the one that cover have decided is going to be like the traditional idol, and I'm like, oh, traditional idol. I immediately lose interest. Yeah, okay, you do that, Japan. I don't fucking care. Make your own like.
Wait, which VTuber do you mean? I missed the name. Callie?
Or he was talking about
Sora on the JP side. Like, I think she was one of the first ones, and it's like, yeah, she's supposed to be the big deal traditional idol, doing all of the traditional idol things, like, a lot of music and concerts and all that kind of crap. And the pure and innocent image and blah, blah.
And then Whole Live Yen comes around and they just blast everything out of the water because that's where their fan base is now. Everywhere
Having
else
a global
except for Japan.
audience really fucking helps sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot more people speak English than Japanese.
Yeah, like there's the population of Japan, some Chinese people, some Indonesians, some very dedicated fans, some business people, and that's about all the Japanese speakers in the world. Meanwhile, English is the language of choice for basically everywhere. Like, if you're doing anything in any kind of global setting, which includes the internet, you pretty much you're required to know at least a little English, enough to generally get the gist, with the assist of a translator if you need it. So, yeah, they can tap into a much bigger market, as evidenced by Gura immediately getting 1 million subs when I think it was 2 other Hololive members
there
were
few,
like at 900,000. Gura starts from 0 and passes both of them.
The one meme video where it's like gas,
Just
passes past all of them and gets straight to first and beats them like instantly. As they were like, oh man, they're gonna get to 1 million. Then Gura just comes out of nowhere and immediately takes it.
Yep, there is an extended version that came out a couple months ago that includes her going all the way to 2 million, and you just don't see any of the other Hololivers anymore. Not a single one.
Ouch.
Yep. She is closing on 3 million subscribers now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, people say she has experience being that kind of successful. I mean, I guess kind of. Her old persona that I won't name, because, you know, that's fair. And also what the song is about, by the way. That did have close to 1 million, I think, before Gura started. More than 1 million afterwards. And yeah, you can say that's experience and stuff, and that's why she's doing great. But all the people at Hololive have experience doing this sort of thing or things that are adjacent to it. Like, we've talked about what Callie used to do, that she has an extensive background in doing a lot of performance and, you know, songwriting and stuff like that. So it's true that she has experience, but all of them do, and the incredible growth is just kind of mind-boggling. Like, in a month. That's about how long it took it to get to 1 million subscribers a month. That's... I'm not sure if it's unheard of, but it's very, very fast.
Really talented people.
Yeah. I love that stuff. It is very much a benefit. Like, even if you don't watch the full streams and stuff, just the clips and stuff, and the community that's built around that is kind of amazing and great and always good for content. I'm actually in the middle of watching Gura playing the Henry Stickmin Chronicles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the Henry Stickmin games.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did not know they were made by the people that made Among Us. Fucking God. I did not know that they were made by the people that made that game also, which was... I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. I want to say good, because it means they have the chops to do other stuff, and I look forward to them doing other stuff. Please, for the love of God. Yeah, so... Yeah.
The memes have ruined you.
Yeah. They ruined that game. I'm fine. The game.
I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still a good game if you can stand it. And eventually the kids will find another thing to be obsessed over, and we can go back to enjoying it like a regular game again. That'd be nice.
I am actually curious what the next big thing is going to be, or what genre it's going to be, even.
In what sense? Just like as a game?
What the next big child game is going to be, or the thing that attracts the most preteens.
Now we had Fortnite, and then we had, for a brief moment, we had Fall Guys, and then we had Among Us. Poor Fall Guys. I say poor Fall Guys. That game did amazingly and sold a lot of copies, and probably is doing quite well still from after purchase sales and revenue. But yeah, they got 5 minutes of fame. At least it worked out for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, they seem to have used it well. I mean, I imagine they made a lot of money. And good faith if they make another game. I mean, people were pretty happy with them, that one. So, despite the occasional issues, it seems like kind of a buggy game sometimes. But
sometimes, I mean, that comes with the territory of like a massive multiplayer game like that.
Hey, you want to have fun? Go to Google image search and type in Among Us OC.
No. God damn it.
There's so many.
How do you make it like? I can understand like fucking Sonic OCs. That was the big thing a while ago. But how do you make Among Us OCs? Like they're just different colored blobs in spacesuits.
they're supposed to be the same looking. That's the point. Why are they what?
All of the OCs are also just different colored spacesuits.
Yeah.
Occasionally with a few straps.
It happens to every game.
Yeah, good old Sonic the Blank. I mean Blank the Hedgehog.
Okay. Enjoy it, kids. You're gonna cringe a little bit when you become an adult and you remember all this stuff. Oh, wow. I was such a dork, but you know, it's fine. Well, you
Unless you're
dork,
completely shameless, and then you just say, "Hell yeah, I was into that."
Yeah.
So many Among Us OCs.
Yeah. Well,
just pages of them. Like I scroll down and there's no repeat images or other things. It's just more.
You know what? That's how you start getting into creativity and just making your own stuff. And I am not going to shit talk that more than I already have.
But look, I found a base that we can use to make our own Among Us OCs.
Oh, cool.
So there's a list of things you need to do to be a creative person. You need to make a Sonic OC. You need to make an edgy rogue. You need to. Those are the only two I have, but you know you have to make those things. You have to make a My Little Pony OC. Donut Steel.
Just remember that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, let's be real. The first thing you need to do to be a creative person is create. And if you're creating based on someone else's work, then hi, my name's Flux Casey. I'm a fan fiction writer. Nice to meet you. What am I going to judge? Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean it's easy if you have a framework. This is literally a framework. Just posted in the chat. So
I just love the idea of Among Us OCs.
Yeah.
Also, what the fuck is a jester? Am I an idiot? What's that?
Somebody who's jokey. Oh, I'm imposter. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, someone's trying to act suspicious when they're not actually an imposter or something like that. Like,
Oh,
I know
okay.
Jester is a role from, oh shit, which one was it?
TTT?
Yeah, Trouble in Terrorist Town. Yeah. Where it's someone that isn't a terrorist, isn't a regular, I don't know what the term is, civilian, soldier, whatever, isn't one of those. Their job is to get the other players to kill them. And if they get killed by another player, they win.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was an official role they added to
I don't
Among
think it
Us, and I
is,
just hadn't.
but I think it's for the people that are just playing their own game. Like,
Ah,
they
that's
don't
fair.
ascribe to either side.
Well, fair enough.
Bogus.
I went from yawn
Feels
to
with
monk
such
chant. I imagine a lot of actual monks play that trick. It's like, didn't get enough sleep last night, but are like, oh, shit, the fucking deacon or whatever is there. Oh.
Oh.
Deacon. Fucking monks, that's not what it is. I don't know what the term is, though, for a head monk. Probably. That's probably it.
Master, Grandmaster, whatever.
Who knows? So that was a weird podcast. Went to
Yeah.
places I wasn't expecting. Yeah. Discord, link in the description. Patreon, link in the description. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.